Is it safe to travel to the Middle East right now? Imagine standing in the desert dusk, the golden call to prayer echoing across rooftops, the scent of cardamom and charcoal in the air, and 1,000 years of history beneath your feet. That's the power of the Middle East, a region where the past and present walk side by side, where ancient ruins sit just beyond the edge of gleaming skylines. But today, more than ever, that stunning beauty comes with an urgent question. Is it safe to travel to the Middle East right now? Stay with me to the end of this video, because I'll share a surprising fact about travel demand in this very region, one that may challenge everything the headlines are telling you. Let's begin with the obvious. The Middle East is not one country. It's not even one region, really. Geographically close, yes, but politically, culturally, and socially, it's a mosaic of nations, histories, and tensions. From the luxury towers of Dubai to the war-scarred streets of Gaza, from the ancient souks of Amman to the fast-changing skyline of Riyadh, the Middle East resists simple definitions. And because of that, is it safe? Is not a one-size-fits-all question. That said, in April, May, and June 2025, the question has become more urgent. In the wake of escalating hostilities between Israel and Iran, the regional situation has changed rapidly. Airstrikes, missile exchanges, closed airspace, and mass evacuations have dominated headlines. For many travelers, even those bound for countries not directly involved in the conflict, the ripple effects have created anxiety and confusion. Let's break it down by the current climate. Israel, at the center of recent military activity, is currently under a strict Do Not Travel advisory from the US State Department, Global Affairs Canada, the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, and Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. This is due not only to direct threats from missile attacks and drone strikes, but also the unpredictability of the security situation. Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport has been closed intermittently. Commercial airlines have suspended flights. Mass evacuations of foreign nationals have taken place by sea and chartered aircraft. It's not just risky, it's logistically near impossible to travel safely into or out of Israel at this time. Lebanon has seen a sharp deterioration in safety as well, with rising cross-border fire and Hezbollah's increased activity near the southern border. For travelers, Beirut, once hailed as a Renaissance city of the region, is under renewed warnings. Street protests and instability, as well as a collapsing currency and overwhelmed infrastructure, make it a high-risk destination right now. And yet, not every country in the region is engulfed in immediate crisis. The United Arab Emirates, for example, home to global hubs like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, has maintained relative calm. Still, even the UAE hasn't escaped the consequences of regional tension. Several long-haul carriers have rerouted flights away from Iranian airspace, which has caused delays, cancellations, and heightened anxiety. The US CROP and UK have both issued cautionary advisories for travelers to be aware of increased regional tensions, including the possibility of drone or missile threats, even in countries not directly involved in military conflict. Jordan, a longtime partner to the West and one of the more stable countries in the region, remains open to tourism. But even here, governments are urging travelers to stay vigilant. Protests in Amman have been more frequent, often related to the conflict in Gaza, and while mostly peaceful, they create unpredictable public environments. Demonstrations near embassies, mosques, and public squares can cause sudden disruptions or lead to confrontations with security forces. Jordan's border regions, especially near Syria and Iraq, are firmly advised against for any non-essential travel. Egypt offers another complex picture. Cairo and the Red Sea resorts remain open, and tourism numbers have only dipped slightly since the regional flare-up. But the northern Sinai remains a no-go zone, with sporadic attacks on security forces and ongoing counter-terror operations. Travelers heading to Sharm el-Sheikh or Hurghada may feel removed from the region's tension, but foreign offices continue to advise caution when moving between cities, especially by road. Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, has been pushing a global tourism agenda, investing billions in new infrastructure, hospitality, and events. Riyadh and Jeddah are seeing an influx of business and leisure travelers, but that momentum has been clouded by the regional escalation. The Saudi government has enhanced security protocols, and Western governments now warn travelers that heightened tensions may increase the risk of retaliatory attacks, either physical or cyber, on foreign interests. So, what are the official government advisories saying overall? The U.S. State Department has issued a sweeping regional update, urging travelers across the Middle East to reconsider travel or exercise increased caution, depending on the specific country. Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, and parts of Iraq and Syria remain under strict do-not-travel guidance, while countries like Jordan, Egypt, and the UAE carry less severe but still watchful advisories. Global Affairs Canada mirrors this, warning Canadians to avoid areas where military or political unrest could flare, including city centers during protests. For many Middle Eastern countries, they stress the importance of enrolling in the Registration of Canadians Abroad program, so travelers can be reached in the event of sudden disruption. The UK FCDO is also keeping its guidance dynamic. For the UAE, it notes the potential for attacks against Western interests, though it stresses that the general risk remains low. For Israel and Lebanon, however, the guidance is more direct. Avoid travel entirely. In places like Bahrain, Qatar, and Oman, the UK government advises vigilance, particularly near diplomatic missions and public gatherings. Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade highlights similar concerns. Their advisories underscore the unpredictability of regional tension and the real possibility of rapidly changing security situations. Travelers are urged to monitor news closely, remain in contact with embassies, and ensure their plans can be changed at short notice. Now, let's talk about what safety looks like on the ground, for those who do choose to travel to more stable parts of the Middle East right now. First, it's clear that the regional tension has created a sense of unease even in places that are technically safe. Airports are crowded, travelers are jumpy, and local authorities are on high alert. Hotels are checking IDs more rigorously. Security around embassies and consulates is tighter, and movement between cities, particularly by land, has become more scrutinized. For tourists in places like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Muscat, or Doha, the everyday experience still feels mostly calm. Flights may be delayed, but the cities are functioning. Beaches are open. Museums, malls, and mosques are welcoming visitors. But beneath the surface, everyone is watching. Everyone is waiting to see what happens next. In terms of practical advice, now is not the time for spontaneous travel in the region. It's a time for careful, well-planned trips, ideally with a strong local partner or guide, and clear awareness of where not to go. Booking refundable fares, securing travel insurance with interruption coverage, and registering with your embassy are essential. And this is where experience matters. Having worked in safety and risk assessment for nearly 3 decades, I've learned to read the difference between a place that is dangerous and a place that is under pressure. Much of the Middle East right now is exactly that, under pressure. That doesn't make it uniformly unsafe, but it does mean travelers must be more cautious, more adaptive, and more informed than usual. So here's the bottom line. Is it safe to travel to the Middle East right now? The answer depends entirely on where you're going, why you're going, and how prepared you are to pivot. Some destinations, like Israel, Iran, southern Lebanon, and parts of Iraq, should be avoided altogether at this time. Others, like the UAE, Jordan, Qatar, and parts of Saudi Arabia, remain open and relatively secure, but are affected by the mood, movement, and media of the wider region. Stay tuned for a more detailed country-by-country breakdown of travel to these countries in coming travel safety videos. This isn't the kind of trip where you check off a few top 10 sites and call it a day. It's a trip that demands planning, awareness, and respect for the culture, for the politics, and for the reality that things can change in a moment. And now, as promised, here's the surprising insight. Despite the geopolitical tension, several Middle Eastern destinations, including the UAE and Saudi Arabia, are reporting some of their highest ever hotel occupancy rates, particularly among business travelers and regional tourists. Why? Because the region's infrastructure is modern, its appeal is growing, and for many travelers, the allure of the Middle East's hospitality, history, and innovation still outweighs the risks. That demand, even now, speaks volumes. I'm Stephen from the Travel Safety Network. My mission is to help travelers navigate a complicated world with confidence, not fear. If you're considering a trip to the Middle East right now, make sure you're getting advice based on facts, not just headlines. If this video helped, please like and subscribe, and let us know your travel questions in the comments. Whether you're planning a stopover in Dubai or considering a historical tour in Jordan, we're here to guide you safely. Until next time, stay informed, stay alert, and travel with purpose. The world is always changing, but with the right knowledge, it's still worth exploring.